This is a Mortarbox Media podcast. For more podcasts and to learn how we can help you create your own, visit mortarboxmedia.com.
Welcome to Women AF. We are three friends who have been living our virtual lives for so long that we don't know how to properly navigate social situations. I'm your host, Nicole. I got with me and my co-host, Danny. Say hi.
Hello.
And Carrie.
Hello. Wait, I didn't hear you.
I heard a long pause.
Hi.
That was a pause.
I think I was delayed on my end. Yeah, Zoom glitch.
Well, I mean, that proves the point of we've been virtual for so long. We just keep rolling with it. It just happens. How are you guys doing?
Not bad. Just fine. You made. Go ahead, Danny. Go ahead. Speaking of awkwardness, okay, there's like a heavy delay on my end, so I feel like I'm coming in way after everyone's talking.
Uh-oh.
So it seems fine to me. Sound like that? No. Okay. Let's keep going. Cool. Speaking of awkward, so I met with my cousin last week, who I haven't seen in a while, and I don't remember what we were talking about, but I was talking about like my great grandparents, like, and I was like, yeah, you know how, great grandpa got into that really terrible car accident in the 1920s and got beheaded. What? And pardon? It was like the first thing I said to her at dinner, and she kind of looked at me, and I was like, I forgot how to do social things. This is not how we should start a conversation. No, it is not. But that sounds like a fascinating story.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I know about the story. Well, what beheaded him is my question. Oh, well, it was like cars before like seatbelts were invented, and like I don't know the specifics of what happened, but it was a really bad car accident. I think he was like thrown out of the car. Oh God. Okay. Dang. Yeah, like really bad. Fun. Yeah. Don't lead with that at dinner.
That's not how I mean,
I led about that in our podcast just now too. So different. That's different because that's us. We're all equally awkward.
Yeah.
We're all a little bit disgusting and morbid.
Yeah.
And we're not eating anything. So right. And speaking of disgusting and morbid, okay. We're just on a roll. Last night, Daniel and I played Hunt a Killer. Oh.
Did you love it?
I loved it so much. It was like our first box. We spent like almost 2 hours playing the first episode of this season as Blair Witch or whatever.
Nice.
And like we probably have another hour or so left before we figure it out, I think. It is so fun. That's cool.
I want to do it. I think that's
we made up names and characters of who we were and everything.
What's your name?
Oh, sorry. Well, I named myself after the wine we were drinking, which was Gemma de Luna. I'm Detective Gemma. Pretty. And then he is Dr. Evera. Do you get it? Dr. I do. Evera. I do. Nice. But it's Blair Witch related? Yeah, so it's like based on the myth of the Blair Witch. Oh, I would have to excuse myself from that because that's so terrifying to me. It's not like it. Have you ever played like a murder mystery game or like murder mystery dinner kind of a thing? No, I don't think so. Oh, okay. Well, it's like that. Okay. Wait, no, I totally did. I totally went to a whole themed party about it. I forgot. That was super fun.
Well, there you go. So you know.
Yeah.
Harry, I love that it being about Blair Witch, that you were really the person on this call that were like, No, not for me.
Can't do it.
It's so funny because you are in the age group of people who would be terrified of anything Blair Witch related. I'm too young. I've never seen it. If I watched it now, who cares?
Oh, interesting. Because I saw it in the theater and it messed me up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I saw it a bunch. One of my exes was obsessed with it, and I think I watched the main one twice, the director's cut a couple times, and then there was one which was like a special cut where like the director literally talked over the movie as you watched it, and they talked through each of the things. Like, I've seen it so many times.
Ugh. Yep. Nope. I had trouble sleeping for a few nights after that one.
Yeah, I think that's what I mean. Like, Carrie, you would have been the perfect age for when that movie, when it came, would have scared the shit out of you.
Yeah, it was just like a brand new thing, and yeah, it did. You're right.
I also did not watch it, but that's not a big surprise because I don't watch a lot of cultural references because I'm homeschooled. But so the intro that I said kind of spoke to the fun thing that we did on, what was it, Saturday. Yeah, so we went to what was it called? Infrared sauna.
Resolution Health. Yeah. We had Andrea Keeproth on, so we hit up her place.
Yep. And what made it really fun is, for instance, I have a lot of anxiety involving parking. So before we went, I messaged you guys. I'm like, where do I park? What do I do? How do I work, social situations? And like, I don't know how to do this. So then I arrived 20 minutes early. I circled the place a few times, and I was so scared trying to figure out where to park that I ended up being late. So...
I mean, Danny made it sound very easy. Oh, there's a parking garage downstairs below the building. And we're like, oh, great. But that was the most confusing parking garage, the most confusing building setup. I was completely lost. I didn't know what door to go to. I didn't know if I was ever going to get there. So I'm with you.
I was overly confident, and I apologize.
It was
because I was also late. I got there, and I was like, this is not how I thought this was going to go.
Yeah, no, it was super confusing, completely. But
then when we got it.
We made it.
Yeah, when we actually got in the sauna, that was the most pleasant experience. Like, it wasn't like any other sauna I've been to. Like, it was infrared.
Dry heat.
Yeah, it was so
pretty
nice.
Colors.
Yes, you could pick
kept cranking that heat.
We did, yeah.
Uh-huh. And when you're done... Enough. Right? And when you're done, you just feel so energized and like, yeah, I got this.
It did feel really good.
And then after, like at the end, Carrie was like, I'm not getting out. They're going to have to come get me out of here.
We took a couple extra minutes that didn't really belong to us, but it was nice.
Yes, it was
felt
really
good.
Nice. It was really fun. All right. Well, we are going to get into this week's topic, and the topic this week is appreciation. With Mother's Day coming up, and I don't know about you guys, but mid-year review is coming up at my work, and just in general, how we feel appreciated. Before we get to our topic, we just want to let you guys know, the listeners out there, that with summer coming up and, things are starting to open up. We're getting a lot more busy, and we have a lot more going on that we are actually planning to take a break this summer to reassess everything podcast. But stay tuned on our socials to stay updated on what we're doing, and we will have, I believe, 4 episodes left of this season. So now let's get into our topic.
What is at the core of being a woman AF? In our definition, we're a group of feminist humans who believe in supporting others, flaws and all. We wanted to create a community of like-minded folks to come together, share personal issues, our truths, wins, and laughter. And so we're excited to announce our brand new Facebook group where we can bring this community together. The Woman AF Podcast Facebook group is a supportive group full of women AFers, and we would love to have you there. Search for Women AF Podcast Facebook group on Facebook, or use the link in the show notes to join today.
All right, well, let's get into our topic. So, like we talked about this week, we're talking about appreciation, especially with Mother's Day coming up. So for the listeners, just letting you know that as we are recording, that it's before Mother's Day. So when this episode is released, it'll be after Mother's Day. But I wanted to talk to you guys. What are you guys doing? How are you going to feel appreciated during this Mother's Day?
Well, I have kind of a special situation for Mother's Day this year, and it's going to be like a true kind of mother celebration because I'm going to be out of town, honestly. I'm going to be out of town with my mom and my daughter.
Oh, no way!
Which we did not plan having anything to do with Mother's Day because neither my mom nor I care at all about Mother's Day. But it fell so perfectly, you know, the three of us on a Mother's Day. That just makes a lot of sense.
Cute.
And so it's going to be little girl time for my Mother's Day, and I am all for it.
I love
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
What about you, Danny?
Well, we just planned this yesterday because we thought Mother's Day was not this coming weekend. So we had the original what we thought we were gonna do plan was we were gonna go. My parents have like a little, like, we call it the shack. It's like a garage that's turned into like half of it's like a little cabin or whatever.
Funky.
So the original plan, yeah. So it's super cute. We usually we try to go out every summer and like camp in a tent, right? But like next to like their shack, which is like in the country, there's like this little you'll love this, Nicole. There's like a little greenhouse, like a place that like grows flowers or whatever. And they were gonna have a big Mother's Day sale, and so we're like, oh, what if we camp up for the weekend and we go to this Mother's Day sale? Well, we thought it was not this coming weekend, and we thought it was the weekend after. And then we realized, nope, it's actually this weekend, and we have a wedding on Saturday.
Oh no.
Okay.
So it's a family wedding. So it's like, that's not going to happen. So
Yeah.
then we decided, well, we'll just do like a barbecue or something. And then now I guess my grandparents are coming to our barbecue and we're hosting, and it's evolved.
Did this get away
like
from you a little
thing.
bit?
So we'll do like a barbecue. And
Well, that sounds really fun.
And we're hosting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be really fun, though, because, I mean, it's been a while since we've all done stuff like that, right? It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah. So it'll be good.
Yeah.
So it'll be the first time we're like hosting people.
Ever in your life?
No, like since the before times.
Oh, okay. Well, then you'll be fine.
Yeah. Just don't bring up your great-grandfather's decapitation.
Especially since that was my grandfather's dad.
Oh, yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah. He already knows,
That would
so
not-
you don't need to tell
He
him.
does. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. He
Okay.
knows.
true.
And that would be just like the worst.
Yeah.
What about
I know
you,
how to
Nicole?
do socials.
Don't either. So I've gone back and forth between what to do, but one of our traditions is Jared, for his mom, would go with her to a greenhouse and like buy her anything that she picks out, and kind of carry everything for her and do all this stuff. And then when we got married and when we started having kids, we morphed into needing to celebrate me as well. So it's actually this cute, me, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and my husband Jared, we all go to the greenhouse with the girls, and Jared picks out things for me and carries them, but then also like pays attention to his mom too and like helps out with that. And so it's this entourage of people at the greenhouse. And
That's pretty cute. And it worked out
That
very
is
well.
Super cute.
It worked out very well for him in that you love plants.
right?
So
Yeah.
he doesn't have to think of anything else. He's just like, yeah, two birds, one stone. Boom.
And he doesn't have to pick anything out. Like, I pick it all out. He just
Yes.
pays for it. So
Oh, perfect.
that's fun. Yeah.
And you
I'm
get what you
excited.
want.
Right? I know.
Yeah.
But then I have to go and plant it all, which is not that fun.
Wait, you should ask for help with that.
I should.
Do that.
This
year, do that. Add that to the tradition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I should. I know my oldest daughter is getting to the age when she loves to help. So she might help out.
There's plenty of good jobs for like gardening type stuff. Like watering. Does she have a watering can?
So my neighbors know. Okay, hold on. I'm going to nerd out for a second. My neighbors had this great idea of they have 2 young kids. Our kids hang out a lot together. And they put like this big, I don't know, like a bin full of water out in their backyard. And then they gave the kids like a pail or like a bucket. And they're like, all right, now go water things. And they would go back to the bin, fill up their little bucket, go over and like water it all. So it was a hot day out. Like it was, I want to do this.
That is perfect.
So and they're helping because they're watering your plants.
Yeah. And you need that done.
Right?
I love it. Good.
I know, I do too. So in thinking about what you guys are kind of doing, it seems like in all our situations, it's very much a service or like quality time type feel. Is that generally how you feel appreciated with your family? Is with that quality time or spending time with them? No? How do you feel appreciated with your family?
Yeah, generally I feel like I don't necessarily need more time with my family. I know that doesn't sound very good, but yeah, I get plenty of family time every day.
That's good. With pandemic too.
I feel like my being appreciated would come more in the form of, and this is not my usual love language, but as far as feeling appreciated, compliments would go a long way.
Ooh.
On this one, because I do feel like I do a lot for them. I don't necessarily get any recognition. So I would love just a, hey, dinner's delicious tonight, Mom. Or like, thanks for helping me with my math, Mom. Just anything like that. That's what I want. I don't get that.
Mom, your arms look amazing.
I would absolutely love that compliment.
Your muscles are so big, Mom.
Your muscles are so ripply, Mom.
I love it. What
I
about
would take
you?
it.
You know, my love language has changed for sure. It used to definitely be words of affirmation, and now I just love if somebody else plans things.
Oh, yeah.
You're
like,
done with that, huh?
Yeah, like I don't want to make to me, like if I don't have to coordinate and make the decision and pick things out, like that to me is a great mental break, and that feels like a gift.
Interesting. Was a lot of this weekend's planning on you, or?
Well, I think because it was, actually, my mom ended up doing a lot of it because it was like we all kind of realized last minute that we had the Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So she called me yesterday and was like, hey, do you care if we barbecue? And do you care if it's at your house? And do you care if I invite your grandparents?
Okay.
Like,
well, that's one form of someone else planning. But
True.
Maybe not exactly what you had in mind.
Yeah. And so like it was, I mean, in that type of a situation, it's fine. And actually, I don't even mind that because I didn't have to coordinate it. I didn't have to call anybody and say, hey, it's at this time and whatever. She was basically like, hey, here is my suggestion for the plan. Is that cool with you? And then I was like, yeah,
sure.
I love that.
No problem.
I love that.
Nicole,
That's awesome.
what about you?
Yeah.
Is quality time what you want?
I don't know. I think it's awesome that you guys mentioned the 5 love languages. I since I was little, I've been studying the 5 love languages. So if people don't know, it's 5 different ways that you can feel love, either giving or receiving. Words of affirmation is one of them. Quality time, service. What's the other one? Touch, and gifts.
Gifts.
Yeah. So, and it's interesting that, like, in every situation, I feel like I'm different. So, with family, it just kind of depends on the day. I do know I have learned to love service. Kind of similar to, like, somebody else planning, but also, like, if someone else does the dishes, or if someone else, like, goes out and buys, like, I wanted to do a painting project, but I didn't know what kind of stain to get, and so Jared just went out and bought stain. Like, stuff like that is really helpful, and it really makes me feel appreciated, and I think it's bled into my daughter, Mally, because she goes around, did I tell you guys this? She goes around and cleans and says that it's, like, a surprise for us. Like, she cleans our house. Like, she cleans the living room and goes, Mom, I'm doing a surprise. Don't look. And I'm like, okay. Or randomly, she goes up into our bathroom and, like, cleans, and I can't find where my mascara is. It's, like, gone. Like, where did you put it? So I think she's learned that acts of service is how...
That is very sweet.
Isn't that cute? I know.
That is so cute.
I bet in 2 months it'll be gone, but that's okay. I'm living in it now.
Enjoy it.
Okay, so that's kind of your family. Let's move into work. And I know we each have a plethora of examples of how we feel appreciated and maybe not so appreciated. How do you think... How would your manager, or if you manage people, how would you go about showing your appreciation? Who wants to start?
I'll start. So we had our reviews this week.
Oh, yeah.
So I had my review on Tuesday.
Oh, Adam too.
Yeah. And it was the first review I've had with, like, my new boss that just started at the end of last year. Though obviously, since he hasn't been around for a full year, he coordinated a lot with his boss, who was my boss before he was my boss. Does that all make sense? Did everyone follow that?
Totally.
Okay. Okay, cool. And it was a really nice review. And it was nice to have that conversation. And I have really good candor with both of my bosses, that I feel like I can say something positively or negatively if I need to say it. They're very receptive. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good communication back and forth. So I really appreciated that. But actually, the best compliment I got is that a couple of the people that are on my team that report to me applied with my blessing to roles within the company. And the people that they interviewed with said, wow, I can tell you train them really well because they're really good candidates for these positions. And so I felt like that was probably the best compliment anybody could have given me, because, like, as a manager, I work really hard to, like, help people move up in their jobs. Like, it is a compliment to me if they get promotions, right? Like, I want you to try to take my job. Like, that is a compliment to me, because that means, like, I'm helping you as best as I can. And so, like, that happened this week, and that felt like that was really good.
That's amazing.
I love
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
Our reviews, I think the state kind of was like, hey, if your employee was there before the pandemic and they're still there, they got passed with flying colors, okay?
Oh, that works.
They eliminated the attendance category that's there every year. It wasn't even in the review. And honestly, I think everybody got a minimum where you started was meets expectations, I think. So,
that's awesome.
As they should have.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. It was a rough year.
For real, if you are still at work at the same job or like if you're at a job right now contributing and you have been throughout this, like fucking A+, buddy.
Yeah. I had to give my first review this year also.
Ooh.
Awkward.
And
Awful.
I was so nervous. Thankfully, like he did a great job. Like, so it wasn't like a hard review, right? Like, so I was like able to say really wonderful things because he did a great job. But, you know, one thing to consider is he came on into our department like mid-pandemic, like in August or something, like right in the middle, and like fully onboarded everything. One of the very first people that was onboarded virtually, trained virtually, like everything. And so like, you know, that was challenging, both training and being trained, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, Nicole, Carrie, you both know, right? Like it's tough. And so like, I mean, that was part of his review. I was like, yeah, this was probably the most challenging time you could have onboarded, and he did a great job. Like it's really tough. Like how do you, I mean, the fact that you're still here and you're doing your job and you know what you're doing, like flying, like Adam was saying, like flying colors. Good job. That was really hard.
Right? Oh my gosh. What about you, Carrie?
Well, this is really good timing that we're talking about this because I just happened to get appreciated pretty hard at work yesterday. Unexpectedly. Yeah, at every quarterly meeting, whole like entire company meeting, and they have this award that they give every time. And they give it to multiple people, but like I think you have to be nominated or something. She's been doing a great job. And I got the award, was one of the winners. And cute. So that means that my manager had to say like how, you know, why I did a great job. So first of all, just to hear her like say all these amazing things about me, I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then also, because it's virtual, there's also a chat running, and then all your coworkers say all these super nice things in the chat. So there's just like a chat flying by of like super nice things. So like I almost couldn't handle it, like because I think you guys know that I do kind of get kind of down on myself about my work performance, and you know, just feeling like I'm doing a bad job and that all my coworkers hate me. That's just my natural mode. But it was like, it meant so much to just have all these people say all these nice things, and I think that's going to carry me for at least a couple weeks. So,
oh,
did you know you were getting this award before?
No.
So it was like, bye-bye.
So it was like suddenly my name is like announced in front of over 100 people, and I'm like, oh no, you know. So.
Whenever that happens with me, my eyes go blank. Like I can't focus on anything. Like everything just kind of blacks out. And I'm like, oh no,
what's happening? Absolutely happened to me. But at the same time, I was also trying to like hear the nice things she was saying and then read the nice things, and I was like totally overwhelmed, and I couldn't deal with it. So
that's
yeah,
awesome.
It was great. So compliments. Give me a tiny compliment at work, and I am like over the moon.
Yeah.
That's so funny. That. Nicole, it's funny that you said that too, because like when something like that happens, well, not like that's never happened to me, but like if somebody like announces that something like, hey, you're getting a bonus or whatever, I immediately go into like, I'm buying a car, don't react, don't let them know how good I think this is. And then I'm like, wait, I'm not reacting enough. Should I smile? Should I, you know, it's like you know, and even like for a baby shower, I didn't want a baby shower because when I open gifts in front of people, I do the same thing.
Yes.
Like I don't want to, like I am sitting there like, what is my face doing? Do I look happy? Am I?
Yeah.
Just hyper aware of what your body is doing.
Or reading birthday cards. You read a birthday card and you're like,
that's the worst.
Half the time I don't even read it. I just look at it and think, is
and
this
you're
enough
like,
time?
Aww.
I'll read it later. And like, I put it away. Like, this was so great. I'll read it later because I can't read when everyone's watching it.
Yes. Do I look appreciative of enough of the thing that's happening right now?
Yes. My grandma, oh my gosh, I love her so much. She is pretty opposite of me in that I'm very shy, introverted. She's like off the wall. Hey, like she'll get into a elevator with somebody and then be their best friend by the time they walk out. Like she's just amazing. And she has a lot of grandkids, and every single grandkid, she's like, "You hate it, don't you?" Because we didn't show the appropriate facial expressions, or like we didn't jump up and down. She's like, "You hate it, don't you?" I'll just take it back. Like, I'm serious. I'm like, "No, Grandma, I love it. I can't do a cartwheel right now because I will probably trip and fall. Like I can't." So, yeah.
So you know that with her, you need to over emote.
Yes.
Just be so enthusiastic.
Yes. Right. Just all of it. With my work, I feel very similar to you guys in that a compliment can go a long way. As a designer too, I feel like when people come back and say like, "That's exactly what I wanted," or like, "That was what was in my head," like it just is the icing on the cake. It's just amazing. I love that feeling. I've also gotten a compliment. I used to work at a hunting and military company, very male dominated. And they, I once met a intense fan and he goes, "Wait, you're the one that does all the print ads and catalogs?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's," as a little shy, "Yeah, that's me." And he goes, "Oh, dude, I thought you were a guy." And I'm like, "Thanks.
That's a
You're
compliment.
welcome."
Yeah.
Right? I know. That was great. But what I think is interesting is when I started this current job, my boss asked me how I feel about public acknowledgement. Like, kind of like what you said, Carrie, you got awarded in front of everybody without your notice. Like, some people that doesn't go really well with. How do you guys feel? Do you like that grand public announcement, or would you rather have a quiet, "You did a great job" email?
Before yesterday, I would have said, no, I'd rather have it quiet. But after yesterday, I was like, yeah!
I love that.
That was awesome! So that was really, really nice of her to ask you, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I felt like it spoke volumes of like she's taking the step to get to know how to show appreciation.
Even to just understand that some people would not be into that. That's nice. I like that.
Yeah. What about you, Danny? Would you like to be just over the top in front of everybody?
I think it depends on what it is. I would be more comfortable with like a work thing than like a personal thing. Like, prior to being engaged or married, like I told Daniel, I was like, if you do a public proposal, I will say no.
Right? I did too. Yeah.
Like one of those big like stadium proposals or whatever. Like just the idea of that, like, oh man, that is not my jam. I don't want that. I don't want to be in front of other people. I don't even be at a restaurant when you propose. Like none of that.
That would be very
married,
awkward
so like
in a restaurant, I think.
Yeah.
So
like I think a personal thing, I would hate it. For a work thing, I feel like it's different for me, and I could be appreciative of a public thing much more at work than I would for a personal situation.
It's more of a controlled environment.
Right.
You know? It's not going to get out of hand. It's, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unlike like a proposal at a restaurant. Oh, God. That could get weird.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially
or like
no, and like you're as an audience member, you're just staring and like, oh, that's awkward. Oh, it's so fun. So one question I do have is, so we talked about like public appreciation and private appreciation. I feel like for those private appreciations, a lot of times I don't believe them. Or like I think they're just saying it like the Midwestern feel of everyone's like, "Oh, great job," and then moving on with life. Like, do you guys believe it all the time when someone tells you good job or someone gives you a compliment?
I think that might depend on how specific the compliment is. Like a vague, oh, good job on that doesn't mean anything. But like, oh my gosh, thank you for, doing this very one specific thing. And I'm like, oh, I helped,
That's a good point.
I can also there's a tone, right? Like people use, I don't know, maybe like I associate this with like the Mean Girls compliment, like, oh, that's such a cute skirt. Where'd you get it? Like they can do something similar work wise. Like, oh, thanks so much for your help. It was so helpful. You know what I mean? Do you know what that tone I'm talking about?
I do. But do you hear that? Do you actually hear that?
I don't hear it as much at work as like that would be more of like a social situation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. With somebody who's being kind of like
snarky.
Shady.
Yeah.
Snarky a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, you
I
can
have
tell if
heard
it's
it at
sincere,
work,
though.
Just not as often. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that. I don't know what it is, but if it's just a casual, I think you're right, Carrie. If it's a casual, like, great job, moving on with life, then I'd like, yeah, that was a good job. They were forced to say it because they're trying to be nice. They didn't actually mean it. But then I did have one compliment recently where she's like, oh, this is the best business card ever. This is so amazing. I love it. And I'm like, oh, you're welcome. I'm the business card girl. Like, that's my new name. I love it. That was the best. Okay. So one thing I wanted to note is, and talk about is in regards to the podcasting world, I wanted to take a note to say how much, at least I've felt appreciated from all the love and support of our fans, and all of you guys, all of our listeners out there. I want to share a story that's one of my favorites, and I think you guys should share a story. What's your favorite? But for me, one of my how I felt most appreciated is when early on in the episode that we did, I went to your house, Carrie, to give you something. And I think your neighbor came out, and I just said one little word to her, like, hey, thanks, whatever. And
you were just talking to me.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, and Yeah.
I remember it being like a very small amount of words that I said, and she's like, oh, you're Nicole. I hear your voice all the time on the episodes. And I'm like, what? You listen? Like, that was the best. Like, aw, you listen to me, and you can know my voice in a neighborhood.
That was really cute, and I loved that you got recognized.
I know.
Out in public, kind of.
Right, yeah.
Also, shout out to Abby, who was my neighbor and is not anymore.
Abby.
Still not forgiven her for leaving us, but I miss you, Abby.
What about you guys? What's some things that you think about or how you felt appreciated when doing this podcast?
My favorite thing is when we get a review that says a nice thing and we don't know who it is. Like,
yes,
I've never gotten over that. Like, we're all like, look at this review. It's so nice. Who is this? Do you guys know this person? Do you get no? Oh my gosh, it's just like a random fan. Yay. Like, that's amazing to me. That it's not like our friends and family.
Yeah, and
who are just like, yay, good job,
Yeah.
It's like real people out in the world. So,
well, that's like when I pull the stats from like our website or listeners for the episodes or whatever, and like I share it with you two, and you're always like, who are these people? They're not real. Like, where did they come from? I don't believe this number. I mean,
Nicole just said, is that a pity view?
Yeah, that's right.
It's got to be a pity view.
Are these pity views? Are these pity listens? I was like, I don't think that many people could be like pitying us.
Feel pity
to listen.
It is crazy to me though. I'm like, I need a list of all the names because who are these people?
Yeah, I'm gonna track you down. I'm gonna say hi, say how much we love you, and then walk away awkwardly. That's what we do. We're awkward.
Can you imagine if we actually did that? Like if we pulled a list of people and like, all right, I'm going to drive to Michigan tomorrow and I'm going to show up at this person's door and I'm going to knock and I'm going to say, hey, you, thanks for listening to that podcast. And
it could be a good road trip.
Yeah. I would then walk away. Just be like, hey, thanks. Bye. What about you, Danny?
Which person at this household listens to Women AF?
Yes, I love it. I love it. What about you, Danny? What has made you feel appreciated being this podcaster?
When we had Kaylee on, our super fan who listened to us from the beginning, like that was so cool. And
all the love for Kaylee.
I know.
All the love for Kaylee. And we have a Facebook group now for people. And I've had some people tell me like, hey, I never listened to podcasts before your show. And I was like, oh, I converted you to it. Well, not I, but we converted you to a podcast listener.
It's all you, Danny.
It was just me.
Yeah, whenever we talk, she skips over us. Like, yeah. Nicole, Carrie.
Yeah, I don't need to hear Nicole and Carrie. I only want to hear the sound of Danny's voice.
Yes. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I agree. I love the Facebook groups. Or like on Facebook when we post like we've gotten the most reaction and engagement when we post something like describe your week in a GIF, and then they describe it and it's like everybody out of the woodworks are describing what their week is like through GIF. I'm like, that's
people love a GIF, man.
Yeah, everyone loves little GIFs. And yes, it's GIF, not GIF.
GIF.
Nope.
GIF.
Oh, you're muted.
GIF.
Sorry.
GIF.
GIF.
GIF. Do you guys do this for other because all three of us are pretty intense into podcasts too. Do you guys ever do stuff to other podcasters?
Do I do stuff to other podcasters?
Yeah, that was weird. How do you show your appreciation for them? There. That's great.
Oh, Lord. Honestly, I feel like I'm being called out because I don't. And I should. And I should leave 5-star reviews and I should leave nice words. And I don't. I don't even think of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I follow them on the socials and I comment.
Yeah. I do.
And I listen. I give them listens.
And if they do a live show, I'm there.
Yes, actually, we still have tickets to, and that's why we drank that we were supposed to go to for our birthdays for 2020.
When do you think that's going to happen?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question. I don't know.
They got to get it in gear.
I know for me, one of my favorite podcasts is Why Mommy Drinks, and they also have a Facebook group that you can go to, and lots of people post in it, and it's a really amazing, supportive group. And I remember posting it something about what broke me that week, and I remember the host of the show actually commented on it, and I'm like, what? Like, she's looking, she's seeing, she read it? Oh.
Yeah, I would pass out.
Right. I know. Oh, I died happy.
And that's why we drink. Liked a tweet of ours once or twice.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
it was very.
I think we got like retweeted or something.
Yeah,
and we just like lost our mind about that.
Yeah,
for like a long time.
It's so funny how like something that little can be a big.
Yep. Absolutely.
Just fill our hearts with love. I feel like that's a song, but that's fine.
It probably is. If it's not, you can make it one right now. Go.
All right. No, I can't. No, command. I can't do that.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, let's close it up. So, just wanted to say I'm great with words right now. It's fine.
Let's Let's close it up.
Can we just, I feel like we should say that Nicole is on day 2 of her second vaccine.
Yes.
And is struggling a bit.
Yeah, just a bit. It's fine. Yeah. It's evident in this episode.
So naturally we told her, why don't you host this?
Right?
Well, and then about halfway through, I don't know if anybody saw, Daniel came down and handed me a Mountain Dew because he was getting an alert that I had low blood sugar. And so my brain is not working.
Oh.
So we're just all riding the struggle.
I have no excuse.
But you haven't tipped over your mic yet, so you're doing
Good
great
call.
so far.
Ooh, I'm
Don't
winning.
touch it.
Winning.
And I'm just high, so.
Right. Oh dear. We have fun.
This has been a real wild ride, is what we're saying.
I'm glad to know that it was Daniel, because as you were like looking out, I was like, oh gosh, it's the Blair Witch coming at you. Like, you summoned it with this murder mystery thing. So I was really nervous for you. So I'm glad it was Daniel.
I'm sorry, my headphones just fell off and I have no idea what you just said.
That's Danny's version of knocking the mic over.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
just fell off my head.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you guys for listening. If you want to get in touch with us, we have a Gmail, womenafpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at womenafpodcast. We are Women AF, and we know you are too.
Women AF is produced by Mortar Media and engineered by Adam Rostad. Intro and outro music is SQZ by Shane Ivers. Check him out at silvermansound.com. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review.